Yeah, buddy! Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Lions. Previously on Kimba TV. Yeah, we were all planning, basically all the Lions, if they were bullish, we were talking about and planning this long right here. And if we make a higher high and we get above 43.6 and we turn that into support, then you have an even higher probability that it's going to go to 45. We nasty. We nasty. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Schwiggity, 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 yo. Exclamation YouTube Crocodile Dundee. All of the highlights from everyday streams are on the YouTube. So exclamation YouTube, if you want to kind of get caught up on the plan. We can certainly take a look at Boogammas. I'm assuming that, okay, so 49.80, 5,000. So, you know, the 49.80 was here from yesterday. That makes sense. We'll go ahead and put the 5,000 if we want. But, I mean, no real surprises on S&P, right? We had the 49.80 marked out. I told you guys where the rest of my TPs are for the S&P long, right? So I'm going to just hold the rest of it until here. Gucci? Alrighty, so S&P, like TP is actually getting there. We're almost there on the 50% remaining on the S&P long. So there's your Boogammas for today. Positive distribution, 49.80 is your biggest gamma, going all the way to 5,000, okay? So we would expect it to get pulled up there. No big deal. TP on the S&P long coming up. Shout outs to everybody that took the 49.20 theoretical long. That was pretty cool. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I mean, we're all seeing the same shit. We're outside of the triangle. It looks like a bullish retest. You know, S&P still has more room to go. That's about it. I still have my short adding at 45.46. That's about it. You can make a little bit of a case for like a hidden bull div, but it's not by that much. In fact, it's maybe like a $2 million hidden bull div. I don't know if that's enough. Dirty says, getting hella excited for ETH. What's ETH doing? First off, show some love for ETH BTC. Show some love to ETH BTC. Math is the math. Easy money, Bugatti money. Who juicing on ETH? Who juicing on ETH? Juicy, juicy, easy money. What do you think about shorting ETH? I would not short ETH, but that's just me because I've been waiting 2 years. There's no right or wrong, and if you're scalping, it's all good. But if you know me, I've been waiting 2 years to think about longing ETH, and I'm finally getting the signals that I want. So it does not make sense for me to short ETH. But that's just me. But I've been waiting 2 years to long ETH. In fact, you've had 2 years to short ETH. For me, it does not make sense to short ETH at all. But that's just because I've been waiting 2 years to long ETH. So if you ask me if I think ETH short is good, you probably haven't been watching me for 6+ months, you know. But are there going to be opportunities on smaller time frames to like have a juicy scalp? I'm sure. So, you know, you got to kind of figure it out for yourself. But if you've been watching me for quite some time, I've been waiting 2 years to long ETH. Okay, this is my daily ETH chart. And this downtrend resistance starts from 2 years ago. So we finally broke out and we're doing a bullish retest. So yeah, I wouldn't, for me, I think a ETH long is easier. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with shorting ETH, but I've been waiting 2 years to long ETH, and I'm finally getting the go ahead. So it wouldn't make sense to me. But do you though? If like on the smaller time frame, you get like a bear div on ETH BTC, why not? Let me load up the thing here. Alpha Hotel says, is that yellow line on the left screen the point where he entered the trade? No, those are called Bugammas. 4980 and 5,000. Biggest Bugamma above the GEX. Positive distribution, right? It looks different from yesterday's, right? This is a positive distribution today. So it's got a positive pull. Okay, yesterday was positive and negative distribution, so it was net neutral. This is clearly positive, right? 4980, 5,000. The S&P long that we took together is from 4920, and that's, I think, from 2-3 days ago. So just type in exclamation YouTube and watch the highlights from 2 days ago if you want to know what our entry is and why we entered on S&P at 4920. Let's go Latuche, y'all, and let me go run to the bathroom real quick and get more coffee, too. Quick little Latuche, y'all. The math is the math. Let's get nasty. I'll be right back. Boys, who juicing? Is the PNL greener than the Latuche, or the Latuche greener than the PNL, y'all? Gotti math. Who juicing? I need S&P to go a little bit. The math is the math. Here since the beginning of the day. Who juicing on the math? Who getting nasty Bugatti? Binancio Crayola coming up, y'all. 650 Bitcoin at 43890. Get nasty. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. We juicing. We Bugatti. Everybody knows the plan. The math always wins. You know it, Mozzie. Shout outs to all the Lions juicing. Let's get it. The math is the math. Get nasty. Always Long says, who's on an ETH long? Pretty much all the Lions. Bugatti money. Oh, guy says, Bybit getting squeezed and Binance pushing us. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on, but a lot of shorters on Bybit. Lots of retail over there, or what's going on? Namgaz says the Coinbase Wick of Destiny. Attaboy. You gonna remember that, right? Schwiggity. The math is the math. The math is the math, y'all. Let's go. Everybody juicing. The only way you're not juicing is if you're not watching. Am I right, gang? Am I right? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know what it is. Levels to the upside, levels to the downside. Clean Bola retest. Clean. Schwiggity. Math. Lions, go nasty. Get nasty. We all juicing. The only way you can't juice is if you're not paying attention, if you're not mathing, y'all. Am I right, chat? Only way you can't juice is if you ain't watching. Exclamation YouTube. Sergio, Schuper, Rahaman PUBG, Evox, TS, Cams D, Tuhaku, Konstik, Lobob, Jupy, Endy, Aritoro goes. BTC says TP2 hit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Like I said yesterday, there's like 140 of you guys, 150 of you guys long from here. You guys are straight juicing. Quit playing with me. Can S&P take me to the 5,000? Come on, S&P. Everybody know where my TP is on the S&P long, yes? Shout outs to the, how many people still in with me from the 4920 long? Imaginary. Jingaus is just back from a family appointment. What's going on, Jingao? Happy Wednesday, brother. How you doing, fam? We're doing amazing, brother. Same plan for the higher high and lower low. So be able to Jingao, exactly. For me, the plan really hasn't changed. The two levels that we've talked about for the last 2 weeks, they haven't changed and they haven't gone anywhere. The two levels to the downside that we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks, they haven't gone anywhere. We just keep having penetrations and then going, triangle shit. So broke out, fake, no bullish retest, drop back. We took, lots of people took that long, broke out again, did a bullish retest. Now we've made a higher high. So far, so good, right? But nothing has changed, brother. Everything is like a continuation. Breakout first, no volume and no bullish retest. Come back, test the bottom again. We were here. We talked about it for about 3-4 hours. A bunch of lions are in a long from here. A bunch of lions TP'd right there. We were anticipating the bullish retest of the triangle. It looks like we got it. We just made a higher high. So far, so good, right? But yeah, let me know, Jingao. Let me know if you need anything. So yesterday we had the breakout. And it did this. Full rotation back to the 382. Also the bullish retest. Go. So it's just a continuation of like the breakout, right? We wanted this to happen on here. Bullish retest, make a higher high, go. Let's go. Jingao, just missed that retest by half an hour. Could do as due to traveling. That's all good, Jingao. There's always going to be another trade. So Alpizi was asking about, am I going to take a short from the 44 structure sweep? I'm not going to, because that's been the plan. But there's an opportunity there. The only time that I would add or get into a new short, like on TapBit, on exchanges that I haven't entered a position yet, would be the 46 area. 45, 46, obviously top heavy. 46K has more confluence for short, yes. And that's why I said top heavy. Because do you know that we've already talked about this so many fucking times, right? For about a week now. So don't forget that I have my Fibception levels. All right. I have all my Fibception. Alrighty. I will probably go pull it from 618 to 05 pretty soon here. Like something like this. Right? You guys know Fibception. So yeah, like 46 is, that's why I said I'm going top heavy. And y'all know that the stop loss would be like around 47. We've been doing that for the last 2 weeks. So what do I always say? Make sure you have levels identified, right? Volume, TPO, point of controls, value high, value low, single prints, imbalances. Not that difficult. Yeah. So Jingao, if I'm in a 46,750 short on TapBit, don't get mad at me. But we've talked about the levels to the upside and downside for every day for the last 2 weeks. The only way that you wouldn't know how we're going to play it is if you haven't been watching. Constique says, do you think it's going to hit 44? Yes, but you do know that we've been talking about that for how long? And do you know why? That would be the most important thing. For the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about 44, 45, 46. And 44, if you're just hearing that, then understand that it's a zone. Okay, so there were a bunch of lions talking about 44.3, 44.4, 44.6. Alrighty, there's certain things that are undebatable. Okay, like levels. The volume point of control is the volume point of control. You can't argue that it's not. All right, so you should be able to find volume ranges, TPO ranges, single prints, imbalances, Fibonacci's. However, hit them with everything that you got. We've been talking about 44 sweep for quite some time. So if you're new, make sure that you go to the YouTube and rewind and get caught up. But yes, 44 is pretty high probability, especially with the bullish retest, higher high, literally everything that we talked about. Alrighty. Bearish Bull says, yes, are we longing here? Well, Bearish Bull, if you go back to the stream from 2 days ago, these are hourly candles. Do you know that for about 4 or 5 hours, we talked about longing here? There's approximately 140 to 150 lions that took the long here. So no, don't ask me if we should be longing right now. Yeah, our TPs are getting hit. So TP1 was the Kimba box. TP2 was 43.6, I think is what we said. So that got hit. And then TP3 would be 44 and higher, and you would let the rest run. Let's go, juice. Juice is the juice, y'all. The math is the math. Let's get nasty. Sato tears, get nasty. Sato tears, get nasty. Wiggity schwaggity! Let's go hypersymphonic, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math. The math is the math, y'all. Methodic, let's go. Artarzova, Ban Crypto, Mixu, Frenzy. Juice, Yanthro, Tivspoke, Methodic. What was TP3? 44K, Bugatti. Let 50% ride. Who juicing? Ladies and gentlemen, the math is the math. Why is S&P not letting me TP? Everyone. Y'all are nasty. I'm juicing. Y'all are nasty. Y'all are nasty. Let's get nasty, y'all. The math is the math. I'm juicing. Bookmap shit itself. You know it's nasty time, y'all. Let's go. Who juicing? Shoutouts to all the Kimba Lions that took this long right here, y'all. Let's go. Kachoi Shiba. Tiny Bullfrogs has got left at the train station, but that's all right. It's all right, big boy. But if we were going to go back and be objective, Tiny Bullfrog, you were here. This was your best. And I think you or somebody else was asking, but do you know why this was the best long and why so many lions took it and why we talked about it for 4 or 5 hours? Because your stop loss is a lower low. So it's super defined. You could have maybe chased the bullish retest, but you see how we spend hella time on certain things? Like we spent hella time talking about 48, 49 short. We spent hella time talking about we need to long this. And we spent hella time talking about 45, 46 short, right? You're going to have opportunities, but we spend a lot of time on the most statistically advantageous, if that makes sense. But it's all good, brother. Sounds good. I didn't take that long either. What I really need is S&P to pink me. Because it's straight pixel fucking me on the Bugammas right now. Can we give it up for that 5,000 CFD Bugamma? Fadila says, can you do a quick recap? I have a long position at 42.8 and now I'm juicing. Sure, but Fadila. Were you here when we were talking about longing here for all this time? All this time. You do know that about 140 to 150 lions are in a long from there. Do you remember when we talked about we don't get bullish on the penetration, we get bullish on the bullish retest? Do you remember when we talked about how if you have this long, TP1 would be Kimba box, TP2 would be 43, and then TP3 would be 44, and then you would decide how much percent of it you still wanted to let run until 45, 46. Yes, bro, that's what I did. Perfect. So you see the single prints, right? Are you okay if it comes back and it's a tap and go? Hold on, let me turn the music down again. How many times have you seen a tap and go? So you tell me if you're okay with tap and go, or if you much rather just close everything here. Do your risk reward? How much more do you gain if you go to 45.2, and how much do you lose if it loses the single print? So the good news is, Fadila, is you TP'd, just like how I TP'd with my short. So you're not really too worried about getting round tripped, right? So it's going to come down to how much you want to maximize your profits. I've taken 70%, we'll still run it. Fadila, I don't think you need my help. You're killing it. Is there something specific you want to ask me? I would just tell you, hey, brother, are you going to stop your trade if it starts to grab the single print? What if it does that? So, and then do you remember when we were talking about this 43,388? So I would still be cautious of like a failed auction. So since you're in a long, Fadila, like expected single print grab, go. Worst case for you, what do you think that is? You lose the golden pocket, you do a bearish retest on golden pocket, and then you keep making lower lows. So I would go through all of the hypotheticals. You know exactly how much you would realize. You know exactly how much you would risk your unrealized, and just take your best shot. The good news is you've already TP'd 70%, so you're kind of nickel and diming. I think the bigger lesson would be to execute your plan and stay unemotional and just do your best. You know, I would probably close most of it around like 46, not financial advice, and do you, brother. I mean, you might be more bullish than I am, and you might say, fuck it, I'm going to hold on to this until 52. There is no right or wrong. Alrighty, Alpizzi says, what time frame are you seeing 46-ish? Let's see it together, but the single print should always be on 30-minute. So 45.5, 45.550 or whatever it is. And then the TPO point of control is exactly at 46. Sounds good? So when you start to change to 1 hour, 4 hour, it's gonna, so basically for me, I'm gonna probably just be grouping that together. But yeah, it's 45.5 technically. That's so. Are you starting to get, LPZ, why I said things like I would love, like anything between 45 and 46 is good, but what I would really want is something between 46.5 and 47, and then 47 would start to become my stop loss, and I would start shaving behind that. But nothing has really changed for the plan upside. Jingao says, we have the level of interest marked out in the 45-46 zone. What would be your invalidation to enter short or at your recent one? Well, it's a little bit hard to predict all the different things that can happen, Jingao, if it doesn't do a swing fail, if it's not a failed auction, if, you know, is there a hidden bear div or no? Is it on RSI or CVD? Is it, you know, is it on higher time frame? Is it on all the exchanges or just on Bybit? Is it on Binance and Bybit? What about CME? Did Coinbase and CME get to specific levels and grab liquidity that I wanted those levels to get? So it's a little bit hard to try and predict what's going to happen and what's going to be the invalidation. My level of interest for a stop loss would be around 47, Jingao. Okay? But I can't stress it enough. And I especially on a day like today, when I feel like maybe sometimes, like if we juice too much, it can trigger other people's insecurities. Do you? I'm not here to try and say that my way is the only way. I'm not here to convince you that you shouldn't do something. I'm only here to show love and support. Okay. So get your levels figured out, right? I don't know how many times I can say this, but I'll gladly say it over and over and over, because if you don't really, if you can't, if you don't feel like you're going to nail the OI or the CVD, you can at least have the levels in front of you, right? TPO, volume based, single prints, is it a weak high? Is it a weak low? You should be able to identify all that. Where's the sweep level? Where's the fib? Alrighty. I'm going to try to kick it as long as I can. We're already 1 hour past the daily candle close. I can probably kick it for like another 15, 20 minutes. But if it hasn't happened now, you guys might be on your own for the 45, 46. So I'm trying to kick it here as long as I can. But at some point, it's going to be like, I really shouldn't be doing I shouldn't be taking pre-workout at 8:30. You know what I mean? I'll do it for y'all, though. Yeah, so here's the fibs. Okay? Here's the fibs. Here's your TPOs. And even crazier, imagine, let me get this North Korea shit off the fucking screen. And by the way, we've done this for about 2 weeks. So you could go back to a stream from 2 weeks ago and you'll see me pulling this. Do you see the single print right at Golden Pocket? Do you see the time point of control right between Kimba Box? So you've got time-based levels, single print. You've got a volume cluster node that fades away after the 75786, right? Big gap. And so levels easy to spot, yes? So you're going to have to try and anticipate open interest squeeze, CVD or RSI div, hidden or regular. And you've got bearish structure too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a swing fail. You can do a failed auction. You can do a 3 drives, right? Multiple ways that you could interpret the structure to be bearish too. Absolute says, I know you get asked this somewhat often, but when can we expect the tutorials? Like probably March, Absolute. Yeah, did you hear my little spiel about, I kind of wanted to start, I'm kind of wanting to get into an S&P short when we get above 5,000, but I'm probably not going to do anything with S&P until I get settled in end of February, beginning of March. So I just have a lot of shit going on. Next week I got Hawaii, and then I got a couple other things, and so I got a lot of personal life stuff that I'm going to be busy with. But probably like March, something like that, absolute. And on top of that, we'll start doing Nerd Out Saturdays and shit. Jing Gao says, got it. Thanks for the info. The level marking is based on confluences, but I wanted to know what your experience is for even such confluence to invalidate. It's tricky, Jing Gao, because I don't know if it's going to do a swing failure pattern, because the invalidation of that would be a higher high. I don't know if it's going to do a failed auction, because the invalidation of that would be significant candle closes above Golden Pocket. I don't know if it's going to do a 3 or a 4 drives. The invalidation of that would be losing the shorter time frame bear div. So I wish I knew what I was going to be, what I could expect and what would be the invalidation of that. But I think it's more important that you're ready for it all. So Jingao, you've been here long enough. You've seen what a swing failure pattern looks like. Somebody else, another lion, brought up a good point. The 48,725 short that I have right now, that was super quick. So you need to really have a plan on what kind of volatility you're going to go in there fearless. Because if you start pussyfooting and you're going to start looking for 1 hour bear divs and trying to make your life real easy and mitigate risk, well, it's risk reward. So the lower risk that you're taking, the lower that your reward is going to be, right? So I think aside from the technical preparation, Jingao, it's really good to make sure that you're emotionally prepared. A lot of people have excellent TA, and as soon as they see a $1,000 green dildo, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. What happened?
One thing my
So do you think that it's going to just slowly get up there and slowly form a triple 1 hour div for you so you can get in? Or you think it's going to go bibink? And honestly, it doesn't really matter which one it does. You just need to have a plan and be prepared for both. And the other thing too, Jingao, is your subconscious bias is going to play a significant role in your decision making. Would you agree with me? Because I was really talking about 48, 49 short, 50, 51 short for so long that when the opportunity came, I didn't shy away from it. But if somebody was really set on the price going to 50, 51, 52 before shorting, that 49 opportunity, that 48.7 opportunity might not have been as appetizing as it was for me. You know, so I'm going to do my best. You know, I've been talking about 46 short for quite some time, so I might not necessarily need a 30-minute candle close like you do. You know, or my emphasis on open interest might be more than yours, and so I'm going to wait longer than you. There's really not going to be a right or wrong. There's going to be hundreds and thousands of people trying this shit, so we'll just have to do our best. Yeah, so, but let me know, Jingao, but I think the best help that I could offer, if it even is help, is, you know, because I would want you guys to do what you think is right. 45, 46 is a zone. I would much more prefer an entry closer to 47 than 45. Anything above 47 would start to be a stop loss. Alrighty. James AP says, can I get your take on Phil BTC before you leave? Oh, I feel like we've talked about this. Phil BTC. I think that gets swept. James, I would. Are you already in a long? I think Phil BTC gets swept. What does this look like? Do you remember when we talked about this? You know what would be really nice? I don't know if it's possible. Phil BTC sweeps. This doesn't, makes a higher low and goes. So that would be the most bullish reaction that you could try to look for, James AP. The BTC pair sweeps, this does not, makes a higher low. That would be really bullish. Charleston says, would you long if it passes 50K quickly and makes resistance at that level? No. I think you mistyped what your question was, because I wouldn't long something at the top if it's resistance. So maybe you meant something else. Dole Kong says, I got to go now. See you at night. Sounds good, Dole Kong. I'll see you tomorrow, brother. Got you, James. Well, keep me posted on this. I would actually want to see a higher low on this. That would be really nice. Cowboy Crypto says, Phil has been disappointing. I can tell from Phil BTC. ETH BTC doing its thing. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's not too bad. Any questions about ETH BTC? Do you know what I'm looking at for ETH BTC? Nailed it. We got the daily bull div. I would love to see the triple bull div. Quadruple bull div. Well, that quadruple doesn't count, but. Do you remember when I said I would love to see that level swept? Oh my God, I would love that. And then like this. We haven't had a conversion in a long time on the higher time frame that was realistically like reliable. Nailed it says waiting for the 3 drives pattern. That's great too. You know, if I start, so when would you switch over to the 3 drives anticipation? Nailed it. Because a 3 drives compared to a swing fail and a failed auction, you're making higher highs, right? Have you noticed that on those 3 drive patterns, most of the time, even if it's a smaller time frame, there is some sort of bearishness that you can see within the CVD or RSI? So if you are a 3 drives player, then you might do like a hybridized swing fail or a failed auction where you're adding all the way to 1 ATR, 1 deviation, but you're stopping out on the second. So like on the standard deviation, everybody knows what I'm talking about. You include the ATR for one deviation as your add, and then your second one would be the stop loss. So we're already at an interesting level. First off, give it up for the blue box. That's been there forever. Look at that. Okay, this is not surprising at all. It's straight pixel fucking. That's okay. Not that big of a deal. We don't get bullish on the penetration. We get bullish on the... So I would love like... Oh, it's a failed auction. It's a failed auction. Get in the short. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. Stay, have your, risk management on point and do your best, y'all. I'm going to try to be on here as early as I can so we can start juicing right away together. You guys Gucci? Shout outs to everybody. You guys are the best. What a day. What a day. Shout outs to whatever drama was going on, but quite flattering, y'all. Ah, there it is. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a great day. I had a fantastic day. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Probably flying back to Cali tomorrow. Got to figure it out. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Tell them what happens. Well, no. Tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.